morning to you. Well, the simple answer is yes, we absolutely can. Look at where we are in the polls, Trevor.
I'm not your question yet.
We're in the mid-20s. We're alongside the Tories and the Labour. So yes, the simple answer is the people want reform. We need root and branch reform in this country. Okay. And this appalling rape gang scandal that you've
hang about. Let's get to that. Let me ask you.
Well, that's the most important issue
first,
of the day,
if we may. This weekend, one of your MPs was heckled by a couple of members who were evidently supporters of Tommy Robinson and the English Defence League. Have you identified and expelled them?
No one's interested in a convicted criminal, Trevor. We're talking about the most horrific
I'm interested
scandal.
in your members. Have you found the two people who stood up and heckled Lee Anderson and said Tommy Robinson should be freed?
Trevor, are you going to ask questions about the most important horrific scandal?
Yes, I am. But I am. If you get to the point where you answer the question I've asked you.
No one's interested in your juvenile questions about some heckler.
Hey everyone, while Reform UK might have little to no influence in Parliament, their platform is often amplified in the media, which seems determined to give them as much attention as possible. Now, I'm not Trevor Phillips' biggest fan. He sometimes lets MPs off the hook when they make ridiculous claims, but he did manage to get under Reform UK MP Richard Tice's skin during a recent interview. This led to a rather tetchy performance from Tice, who threw what could only be described as a tantrum. Tice was determined to control the narrative, attempting to steer the conversation away from the growing questions about a possible split within Reform UK over Tommy Robinson. Whilst that approach might work on GB News or Talk TV, where the party often sets the agendas and dodges tough questions, it doesn't fly on Sky News. Philip pressed Tice on the recent heckling of Lee Anderson by Tommy Robinson supporters, asking if those individuals had been identified and expelled. Instead of answering, Tice dismissed the question as irrelevant, accusing Phillips of wasting time on juvenile topics. It was clear that Tice was more interested in grandstanding about the government's handling of national scandals than addressing the uncomfortable realities within his own party. Here's the issue. Reform UK is facing a real credibility issue. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, has already publicly thrown his support behind Tommy Robinson, a divisive figure and former EDL leader who is currently in jail. This has created a headache for Reform UK as it struggles to distance itself from far-right associations whilst retaining the support of voters who might align with Robinson's views. The heckling incident only underscores the challenge that they can't entirely escape these connections, no matter how much Tice tries to deflect. What made the situation worse was Tice's behaviour during the interview. He seemed to forget that on Sky News, the journalist, not the politician, sets the agenda. His refusal to answer direct questions was not only disrespectful to Phillips, but also to the viewers. If Tice isn't willing to engage in an honest discussion, then why bother granting him airtime? The interview should have ended the moment it became clear that he was more interested in deflecting than addressing the issues, and it highlights a broader problem for Reform UK. Whilst they might want to present themselves as a serious alternative to Labour and Conservatives, these kind of performances undermine their credibility. Tice's attempts to avoid accountability only reinforce the perception that the party is more focused on playing politics than offering real solutions. The elephant in the room remains Musk's support. Reform UK seems unwilling or unable to distance itself from him, despite his endorsement of Tommy Robinson. They know they need Musk's platform and potential financial backing, even if it ties them to controversial figures and far-right rhetoric. This balancing act is unlikely to win over mainstream voters, and it risks alienating moderates who might otherwise consider supporting them. Ultimately, Tice's tantrum and Reform UK's internal struggles highlight the challenges of navigating far-right associations while trying to appear legitimate. If they're serious about being a credible force in British politics, they'll need to do better, starting with answering the tough questions instead of running from them. But let me know what you think in the comments. I've been Jake from Just Jake, and as always, subscribe to the channel. You actually made it to the end of the video. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, which, why haven't you already, is somewhere over there. And also, if you want to watch more videos, also check out over there. I've been Jake from Just Jake. See you later.